fit. This how I function. Show you real love, don't take it offense. Nigga that never bow down and they'll never stomach. I'm here today to share with you an extremely powerful collection of videos showing you how Google is politically biased, how they're manipulating the search engine results to manipulate millions of people into voting for Hillary Clinton in 2016, and of course, and it's going to be about like 15 million votes in 2020 to try to stop Trump from being elected. Here is a video of a scientist that was actually a Hillary supporter, but realized that Google was able to manipulate at least 2.6 up to 10.4 million votes in 2016 to go to Hillary Clinton based on their search results and how they were able to manipulate people.
And indeed, you're the former editor-in-chief of Psychology Today.
Correct.
So you're a respected academic. You testified before this committee that Google's manipulation of votes gave at least 2.6 million additional votes to Hillary Clinton in the year 2016. Is that correct?
That's correct. The 2.6 million is a rock bottom minimum. The range is between 2.6 and 10.4 million votes, depending on how aggressive they were in using the techniques that I've been studying, such as the search engine manipulation effect, the search suggestion effect, the answer bot effect, and a number of others. They control these, and no one can counteract them. These are not competitive. These are tools that they have at their disposal exclusively. In 2020, if all these companies are supporting the same candidate, there are 15 million votes on the line that can be shifted without people's knowledge and without leaving a paper trail for authorities to trace.
Here's a video of a Google executive named Jen Janai. She was caught on a hidden camera explaining how the algorithms are designed with a political bias to prevent Trump from being elected in 2020, and how they were basically regretful of 2016 and how they didn't do enough, basically, in their view, to stop Trump from being elected because they have a leftist bias, a leftist propaganda agenda to manipulate people. So here's that video.
But the reason we launched our AI principles is because people were not putting that line in the sand, and they were not saying what is fair and what's equitable. So we're like, well, we are a big company, we're going to say it.
People who voted for the current president do not agree with our definition of fairness.
They're not objective piece. They're not an objective source of information.
We're also training our algorithms, like if 2016 happened again, would the outcome be different?
They are a highly biased political machine that is bent on never letting somebody like Donald Trump come to power again. 2020
is certainly on top of, now my old organization, Trust and Safety, is top of mind. They've been working on it since 2016 to make sure we're ready for 2020. We got called in front of Congress multiple times. They can pressure us, but we're not changing. Elizabeth Warren is saying that we should break up Google. And like, I love her, but she's very misguided. Like, that will not make it better, it'll make it worse, because now all these smaller companies who don't have the same resources that we do will be charged with preventing the next Trump situation. It's like a small company cannot do. And it's like...
Now here is a clip of a Google insider, a whistleblower that has worked in Google for 5 years. He has a PhD, he helps on the Google Assistant, and he's saying that Google has merged with the Democrat Party, and the big tech has too, sort of formed like a cartel or an oligopoly to basically have a monopolistic control over information and the flow of information. And he's saying that, look, if we continue to let this happen, you know, the big tech could eventually basically control every election from here on out, and it's going to be a tyranny.
My name's Greg Coppola. I'm a senior software engineer. I work on artificial intelligence and the Google Assistant. Yeah, I mean, overall, I'm very concerned to see big tech and the big media merge basically with the political party with the Democrat Party. I have a PhD, I have 5 years of experience at Google, and I just know how algorithms are. They don't write themselves. We write them to do what we want them to do. I look at search, and I look at Google News, and I see what it's doing, and I see Google executives go to Congress and say that it's not manipulated, it's not political, and I'm just so sure that's not true.
I lead this company without political bias. We
have to just decide now that we kind of are seeing tech use its power to manipulate people. I really don't buy the idea that big tech is politically neutral, and I think we need to start incorporating that into whatever strategy we use to have a democracy going forward. Are we going to continue to have elections that mean anything? Are we going to continue to think for ourselves, or are we going to just let the biggest tech companies decide who wins every election from now on?
Now here is a clip of Google executives in a leaked video right after Trump won in 2016, how they're having bitch fits, complaining about it and crying. Literally, one of them, the chief financial officer of Alphabet, was caught crying in this leaked video that was an internal video that wasn't supposed to be public, but it went public anyway. And you have Sundar Pichai also, saying how everyone's upset, and Sergey Brin, the co-founder of Google and the president of Alphabet, who is basically explaining how he's offended by Trump winning, and it's such a horrible time. And so it's clearly Google is run by a bunch of leftists, radical leftists, that are obsessed with silencing you and your free speech. So here's that video.
I know this is probably not the most joyous TGIF we have had. Let's face it, most people here are pretty upset and pretty sad because of the election. I certainly find this election deeply offensive, and I know many of you do too. And I think it's a very stressful time. And it conflicts with many of our values.
It's been an extraordinarily stressful time, I'm sure, for many of you. There is a lot of fear within Google. I've gotten a lot of emails.
So look, it was a shock to all of us, the results of the election, and you're afraid and you're trying to look for answers. And that fear, I think, not just in the United States, but around the world, is what's fueling concerns, xenophobia, hatred, and a desire for answers that may or may not be there.
So for what it's worth, I've been a very long time Hillary supporter. And as we started to see the direction of the voting, I reached out to someone close to me who was at the Javits Center where the big celebration was supposed to occur in New York City. And I just sent him a note and said, are you okay? It looks like it's going the wrong way. And I got back a very sad, short text that read, people are leaving, staff is crying, we're gonna lose. That was the first moment I really felt like we were gonna lose. And it was this massive kick in the gut that we were gonna lose. And it was really painful. And we will use the great strength and resources and reach we have to continue to advance really important values.
So now Google has been caught developing a project called Dragonfly that is a search engine for the Chinese Communist government to be able to make sure that the internet is censored in China so the citizens can't find important information about their history or anything, especially anything that's dissenting against the communist government ruling over them, and to help track down dissenters and arrest them and execute them. So people see this as a human rights violation for Google to even cooperate in such a project, creating a censored search engine. So there's also now evidences to show that they've been working with the communist government and not the American government And the question is, what is going on? Why are they doing that? Are they committing treason? It's possible. Here's that clip.
There's this very peculiar background where Google is working with the Chinese communist government and not with the U.S. military. So the Project Maven decision was a decision not to work with AI with the U.S. military, but they're working with the communist Chinese. And so the question is, you know, from the outside is just what in the world is going on there? And then the weird fact that's indisputable is that Google is working with communist China, but not with the U.S. military on its breakthrough AI technology.
Why is that? If Sundar Pichai was sitting right here, what would you say to him?
Well, I would say, answer my three questions. You know, how many foreign intelligence agencies have infiltrated Google? Have the Chinese in particular infiltrated? And why are you working with communist China, not the U.S.?
And I wanted to close by saying that Google is evil. They have been caught with their pants down, basically trying to rape America, but it's not going to work anymore because everyone's understanding what's going on. It's being exposed. So share this video with everyone. Make sure everyone knows, especially those that are unaware of how rigged it is, so that they're not manipulated by Google search results promoting leftist articles and news up front and burying any views that go against the leftist agenda. As they try to control elections throughout the world, we want to make sure we're informed and not manipulated so that we can govern for ourselves and not be mentally brainwashed or swayed or manipulated in any way by their censorship. So thanks for watching. Share this and like, share, and subscribe. This is the Patriot Torch. My name is Marco Amaya, and I'll see you in the next video.